Hey friends, I hope you're having a wonderful day, enjoying the beautiful sunshine out here at the beach. And I wanted to share with you this wonderful book that I was inspired to write about 6 years ago called The God App. And I was blessed by two wonderful gardeners, I like to call them, that God strategically placed in my life that as catalysts that caused me to experience the love of God that I have never experienced in a way, but has just continued to grow. And as I have been rereading and thought that I would share again, but through the catalyst and the gardeners that God used to kind of begin to stir in my life, I began to read 1 Corinthians chapter 13, but in the Amplified Classic version. And it talks about how our love for God springs out of Him and not us, but it is that springing out of Him, our love grows for others. And in the midst of this, as I began to read through the Bible again, I began to see the scriptures through the lenses of God's love, all of it. You know, sometimes it's hard to say in this natural world where we see bad as bad and good as good, but God sees it all the same through His love. And whether it's looking at how God in His love spared the life of Lot's wife by turning her to a pillar of salt, as you'll read in this book, or by looking at the woman caught in adultery, that God saw her, Jesus, in that moment. He saw her and all of those standing there with the stones. And as we began to see with this love, as Jesus saw and as God sees, we began to hold each other dear and begin to flow in the spiritual gifts that are listed in 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and the love that God talks about in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 that only comes from God's unconditional love, and that we all begin to, in a way, prophesy as God does.